An insider believes that Garrett Wilson is destined for superstardom this season. Well, what the heck would that mean statistically speaking? We've got the answers. It's time for Boy Green Daily. Right now. Zoink. It is unequivocally the Super Bowl for New York Jet fans. Field Yates, baby. Field gosh darn Yates. Let's bring him on the show. Come on, people. Connor Rogers is joining the show. What's up, Connor? But Trevor gosh darn Sycamore, baby. For me, personally, my favorite New York Jet of all time.
Wow, it's great to be on. What an intro that was right there.
Paul, nobody does an intro like you, man.
Paul, you give the best intro of literally any podcast that I've ever seen.
I'm gonna lose my gosh darn bananas. Good morning, everybody. Paul Eston Jr., a.k.a. Boy Green. I'm the New York Jets digital reporter for Heavy.com. Welcome to Boy Green Daily, a daily New York Jets video show, also available wherever you get your gosh darn podcasts. We're here on a Monday, and 2 weeks from tomorrow, folks, is report day for the veterans, and for really the whole team. Rookies show up a few days before, but the veterans, the rest of the group, show up on July 23rd. First practice is the 24th. 2 weeks from tomorrow, baby, is New York Jets training camp report day, and then we're off to the races, and it's going to be spectacular. And we're going to be talking about a lot of stuff today. Garrett Wilson, superstar jump. First off, who said that? Secondly, what did they say? Thirdly, what does it all mean statistically speaking? What does superstardom equate to? And I dove into the numbers, and I'll give you that. But before we get to all that jazz, right off the top rope, baby, today is deadline day. It is perfectly in alignment with Boy Green Daily. Folks, if you're watching the show live right now, sorry for the people that are watching after the fact or listening after the fact. This does not apply to you. It is exclusively for the live listeners and viewers right now on the show. Today is cutoff day. Me and Nick Shine, proud NYJ fan, are hosting a ticket tailgate package for the New York Jets New England Patriots. It's the Jets home opener. It's Thursday, September 19th. It's week 3. If you are a Jets fan and you're thinking you want to go, but you haven't bought tickets yet, today is the cutoff to join me and Nick Shine. They're $140 a pop, upper end zone. And I will tell you this, so you should join us for all those reasons. And as my mother said, my mother now is going to be there. My father, my mother, we're all going. The whole familia is attending this wonderful event. And I'd like you guys to get an opportunity to meet me, but I'll even sweeten the pot here. If we can sell 2 tickets live on today's show, again, they're $140 a pop, we will be, giving away 3 field passes to the group that bought tickets to this Jets Patriots with me and Nick Shine. Let me repeat that to make sure that's very clear, and I'll be promoting it throughout today's show because at the end of today's show, you guys are out of time. Right around the end of the show is when shop closes up and you guys can no longer sit with us for Jets Patriots. But to try to entice you to do it, you should want to do it anyway. But to try to entice you and push you over the edge, if you've been thinking about it, okay, we need to sell 2 tickets live on today's show, somewhere over the next hour. Okay, $140 a pop. All my payment details are down below. It's PayPal or Venmo. Paul, the letter ESDENJR@gmail.com. Send your first and last name, your email, because that's where the Jets will send you your tickets, and exactly what you're buying. 1 ticket, 2 tickets, or whatever, to our event. People, we need to sell 2 tickets live on today's show. And if we're able to do that by the close of business, we'll be on for about an hour here. If we do that before the close of business today, we'll be giving away 3 field access passes before the game. So, of course, if you buy the ticket, of course, you'll sit with us for the Jets-Patriots game and be there. But you will have an opportunity to be on the field in primetime before the game and enjoying the atmosphere. Excuse me, at MetLife Stadium, but we got to sell 2 tickets live for that to even be possible. If we don't, of course, we're still going to be able to have our wonderful tailgate before the game, and then you guys will be able to sit with us to watch the game. But if we don't sell those 2 tickets right now, on this show, those field access passes are not going to happen. So, guys, there's a little temptation. If you've already bought a ticket, you could do this. You could buy 1 or 2 tickets and give them away to another Jets fan if you want. If you're feeling the chutzpah, feel free to do so. Or if you're going and now you want to bring a friend, feel free to do that to have an opportunity to win those field passes, which are going to be excellent before the game. So, people, that's how you do it. Again, they're $140 a pop. We're trying to make one final push to try to see. We've gotten a lot of tickets over the weekend, and they've been surging in. And like I said, the gap to get to our watermark of having the field access passes is 2 tickets, $140 a piece, and you'll get to go to Jets Patriots. So you've been thinking about it, do it, baby. If you, again, are already going, bring a brother, sister, friend, nephew, gardener, whatever, your neighbor, I don't care. You can bring anyone you want to go. So people, rally amongst yourselves. Again, you've got another 54 minutes and change to figure it out and see if you will. I love the group that we have. I can't wait. Bobby's in this group. We got Johnny and Uncle Tio and all these wonderful people are going to be at this event. Nick Shine, my mother, my father, Woody. It's going to be awesome. But again, 2 more spots left in the dance. Well, we have more than that, but 2 to get to our next mark, which again, I'll be trying to promote through today's show. So feel free to reach out to a friend and see if they can do it. Again, all the payment details are down below of how you guys can send that money in and lock in your spot. But the question for today is that Zach Rosenblatt of The Athletic predicted that there is a superstardom jump coming for Garrett Wilson. Now, there may be some of you out there say, oh, Garrett Wilson's already a star. He's been really good. He's a good wide receiver. He is a good wide receiver. Garrett Wilson, you could even say he's a great wide receiver. But statistically speaking, and Snowball said he will be there too. I can't wait. So excellent. Snowball, let's rally, baby. Let's see if you can if you get a friend, brother, gardener, wife, anything, feel free to see if you can bring them along too for the ride. But Garrett Wilson has not jumped to the next level. He's been really good. Again, he's the first Jets receiver ever in their first 2 years to have over 1,000 yards. That's spectacular. That's a wonderful statistic. But he hasn't risen to national prominence yet. Now, you could blame quarterback play or this, that, or the other, and those would all be fine and dandy. But we need to get to the next level. No excuses, and Aaron Rodgers, of course, could help him do that. And here is what Zach Rosenblatt said. There's actually a link down below in the YouTube description for you guys to read the full piece, but he mentioned that it would have been easy to pick guys like Sauce Gardner or Quinnen Williams or even Tyron Smith, but he said this, quote, "This feels like the season where Garrett Wilson truly breaks out into superstardom and becomes a wide receiver mentioned in the same breath as Justin Jefferson and Jamar Chase types. He has the talent to produce like them. He has just been saddled with arguably the worst quarterback situation in the NFL the last 2 years, despite that he's managed to get at least 80 catches, 1,000 yards, and 3 touchdowns in his first 2 seasons, making him one of only 5 receivers in NFL history to do that to start a career. Now imagine if he gets even just competent quarterback play from Aaron Rodgers and even Tyrod Taylor if Rodgers can't stay healthy." And what does that mean? So here is the numbers for Garrett Wilson last season. Here are the numbers. Keith, are you saying I'm on mute? I definitely am not. I think that's on you, pal. I am not on mute. I can hear myself in my own headphones, so I'm live. I'm on. But appreciate that, Keith. Just adjust your settings wherever you're listening. But here are the numbers for Garrett Wilson. Okay, 95 catches last year. Okay, 1,042 yards. Okay, and 3 touchdowns. Those are fine numbers, just dandy. But here's where those ranked in the NFL. He was 14th in the league in receptions. He was 22nd in the league in yards and 82nd in touchdowns. Again, I'm not blaming Garrett. This isn't some Garrett bash sesh. I'm just saying that Garrett has been okay. He, again, one of the top 5, 5 receivers have only did the 80 catches, 1,000 yards, and 3 touchdowns in their first 2 seasons, reaching those floors. But it's not about a floor thing for Garrett. It's about a ceiling thing. So again, let me repeat those numbers, and I'll tell you where he needs to get to reach the quote-unquote superstardom level, quote-unquote. Again, he had 95 catches last year. That was 14th in the league. He had just over 1,000 yards. It was 1,042 to be specific. That was 22nd in the league. He had 3 touchdowns. That was 82nd in the league. So a lot of people scoring more touchdowns. But what is the level that Garrett needs to get to reach superstardom? I looked up the league leaders and actually the top four at each position, or not at each position. Let me rephrase that. Here are the top four in those major categories. So, top four reception leaders last season: CeeDee Lamb, 135 catches; Tyreek Hill, 119 catches; Amon-Ra St. Brown, 119 catches; Evan Ingram, tight end of the Jacksonville Jaguars, 114. He's sneaky in there. Those were the top four receptions leaders in the NFL last season. Garrett again was at 95. These other guys ahead of them, okay, we're talking about 40 more catches. CeeDee Lamb had 40 more catches than Garrett Wilson. But even he was the league leader by a mile. Let's go to like a Tyreek Hill or something. 24 more catches for Tyreek Hill. 24 more catches for Amon-Ra. 20 more catches, essentially, for Evan Ingram. So there's a gap there. If Garrett Wilson wants to get into the top five, which is what we're talking about here, Superstardom is being like in the top five of these major receiving categories. That's what Garrett has to go to. So those were catches. Let's go to yards. Okay, here are the top four league leaders in the NFL. 1,799 yards. That was Tyreek Hill. Pretty good. CeeDee Lamb, 1,749 yards. Amon-Ra St. Brown, 1,515. And then Puka Nacua, 1,486. Again, that was the top four receiving yardage leaders last season. Garrett was 22nd. He was 400 plus yards behind all of those guys, or more. So he was 400 plus behind Puka, 500 plus behind Amon-Ra, and then 700 plus away from CeeDee Lamb and Tyreek Hill. 700 yards. That's a lot. That's a big gap. Those are the guys that are at the top. And then let's go to touchdowns, which it's obvious. Again, Garrett Wilson, three touchdowns, 82nd in the league. Here are the league leaders. 13 touchdowns, Mike Evans. 13 touchdowns, Tyreek Hill. 12 touchdowns, CeeDee Lamb. So a long way in short of saying it is this. Garrett Wilson, double-digit touchdowns. He's in the conversation with these guys. I'd say 1,300 plus yards is probably the watermark I would go to, although this top four list is 1,400. So blown up to that level. We're getting into Don Maynard, Brandon Marshall category when we're talking about that level of receiving yardage in a single season in Jets history. Plus, the catches speak for themselves. Brandon Marshall is the all-time leader. I believe that's 109 catches. All of these top four last year were even higher for that. Again, with CeeDee Lamb, Tyreek Hill, Amon-Ra, and Evan Ingram. They were higher than the Jets' best season ever from a reception standpoint. Those are the numbers. If Garrett wants to reach superstardom status, as Zach Rosenblatt is foretold in his article, that is where he has to get to. That is the area in which he has to get to. And if he can't get to it with the Jets, that's he's not going to want to be here. Because Garrett has this desire to be among the best of the best of the best. And if he can't get it here with the Jets because of poor quarterback play or injuries or whatever happens, he's not going to want to be here for any longer. So the Jets need to deliver for Garrett. We all know and we all believe, I will speak for Jet fans on a general majority standpoint. We believe Garrett would be in the Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson category if he had good quarterback play, and he hasn't. We believe he would be there. That's how much talent this kid has, but he hasn't because of crappy quarterback play. We believe that. Well, he's got Aaron Rodgers. Let's see what happens. That, to me, can take us to another level here for Garrett, for old G-Dub. And we'll see if he can. But, yeah, superstardom, I don't think that's a crazy take at all. The athletic writers for this column that is linked down below, they were tasked with picking a non-quarterback MVP for every team. A non-quarterback MVP for every team. And there's a lot of guys on this list. I've seen this same sort of prompt given to others before. Of hey, who's the non-QB MVP? And you could go to other players on the roster: Quinnen Williams, Sauce Gardner, Breece Hall. Even NFL Media Group had Breece Hall as a non-quarterback MVP for the New York Jets. So you could go in a lot of directions. But that just speaks to the ridiculous talent. Hassan Reddick, it just speaks to the ridiculous talent that's on this roster. Absolutely ridiculous. So that part to me, like I said, is incredibly exciting that Garrett can reach that level. And I'm going to be honest, I'm picking in a bunch of my fantasy drafts. I'm picking like, let's see, in my main show league, picking number 8. Let's see what else. I got number 8, number 10, and number 12. If Garrett's available at any of those points, that's probably the pick. Although in one of my leagues, I'm at pick 3, like fantasy draft order wise, what I'm talking about. I'm at 3, and I'm hoping Brees is on the board. But in terms of MVP, I think Brees might be the straw that stirs the drink. But I'm looking forward to seeing what else others can do. So we'll see what happens in fantasy drafts. I've been really diving in. On the fantasy magazines, getting guys I like, highlighters out, and things of that nature. And it is pretty exciting to see what can happen. All right, we'll increase the participation for today's show, putting the video link to join in the YouTube comment section. If you're watching on any of one of the other features, again, we're streaming on the Heavy on Jets Facebook page. Appreciate anyone who's over on that, or on Twitter at BoyGreen25. You have to head on over to youtube.com/BoyGreen25. That is our main hub where you guys can catch all the shows and the re-racks and everything else. That's where, if you are a fan of the show and you watch on one of the other features, please make sure you hop on over to YouTube. Guys, like the video, hit subscribe down below on youtube.com/BoyGreen25. The phone lines are now open. That is the pinned comment. And as we await the great people to call into the show, I want to reiterate to the 250 plus that are in this room live here on a Monday that, again, down below, buy your tickets, people. We're trying to sell 2 tickets to Jets Patriots. You guys will sit with us. We're going to be tailgating before the game. It'll be me, Boy Green. It'll be Nick Shine. There's going to be a bunch of other content creators. Jake Asman stopping by. There's going to be a lot of great people to hang out with and have a party for the ages. And we'd love for you to sit with us for the Jets Patriots. And again, if we sell 2 tickets live on today's show, which are $140 a pop, it's located in the upper end zone. We will be giving away 3 field access passes ahead of the game, Jets Patriots. So let's go, baby, and come check. Come join us. That's going to be a lot of fun, and I hope we can. So again, people, the time is running out. Tick-tock. For joining us for Jets Patriots. Make sure you guys do so. All right, let's jump on over to the phone lines. We've got one of the best in the business, an OG of sorts, Ricky New York, live here on the show with a brand new camera. Whoa, I can see your pores, Ricky.
Hey, what's happening, Paul? Maybe it's the lighting, because still same camera, but
oh, okay.
You know, I know how hard you've worked at this, putting this thing together. I was actually on the phone with Nick the other day, and he was like, "Oh, that's Boy Green. I gotta go." You know, when you were calling him and getting all these final plans in place. And you know what? If I was closer in the area, I would jump all over that deal. Unfortunately for me, I'm on the opposite end of the country.
Right.
That being said, maybe we can get you to Jacksonville with us though, and meet up with you there. That would be nice.
See, yeah.
Back to what you were saying about Garrett. The thing with him is the quarterback play is definitely relevant. I know there's a gap between him and those other guys, but I just gotta say, when you watch Garrett play, he can separate from anybody. His separation skills are elite. And this year, with a real quarterback, he is going to separate himself from all those guys that you just talked about. And that's how it's going to go down.
I hope so. What do you think? What do you think stat projection-wise? So, again, these were all the league leaders last season. 135 catches, 1,800 yards, and 13 touchdowns. Those weren't all the same player, but those were the league leaders in all the main categories. What can Garrett get this season? Where can he go?
You know what? I don't want to say like a ranking where he's going to end up, but I'm going to say that Garrett's going to end up with probably 15 and 14, 1,500 yards, 14 TDs.
Beautiful. That'd be right up there with Brandon Marshall. That was his. I think it was 109, 1502, and 14 touchdowns was his season in 2015.
Yeah, I think he'll beat Brandon Marshall's yards by about 40 or 50 yards and have the 14 touchdowns. And that's how I think it's going to shake out. That being said, as far as a non-quarterback MVP, it's going to be Brees. It's going to be Brees, man. He is going to explode this year. I think the offense is going to run through him. No more 8-man boxes. And man, I mean, people say, oh, well, he didn't get 1,000 yards last year. You know what? He was coming off an injury with the worst line in the league. That isn't the case this year. And like you, I was also a running back, when I was young, and you know how I feel about it. The running backs are the unsung heroes of the NFL. Those guys are warriors. They take punishment on every single play, whether running, blocking, catching, whatever. And dude, Brees is a warrior, man. And he is just gonna explode this year. And I can't think of all the players I love on this team, there's nobody I'm looking more forward to watch than him. But I think all our guys are going to have great years, and I just can't wait. I can't wait for it to get here.
Hey, 2 weeks from tomorrow is report day for training camp, and that's when all the news and storylines, everything are coming in, and there's no, like I said, Cromartie Revis shows. It's just all football, baby, which I can't wait.
Yeah, I can't wait either. I can't wait till we're talking strictly ball, and all this other nonsense can kind of go away. I mean, you know what? It's been good to keep us entertained during the downtime, but you know what? I'd much rather be talking ball. Just even training camp last year. Hearing the fans, Aaron Rodgers. God, I'm so ready. I am like beyond ready. So looking forward to a great year, and looking forward to getting together with a lot of my fellow Jets fans, and can't wait. Just that's all I can say.
Awesome.
Like Bart said, can't wait.
Thanks, Ricky, for calling in, brother.
Thank you, Paul. Have a great day.
All right, you too. Ricky, New York, joining us, and makes a lot of good points there. As a former running back, I'm probably biased, but, Brees Hall would be very close to my non-QB MVP, an important piece of puzzle. Or Hassan Reddick certainly would be in that conversation. He's just such an important thing of what the New York Jets need. Garrett can be really great, but, the thing with him, as we've talked about throughout the show, he needs a quarterback to get him the football. Brees does not need a quarterback to get him for any boob. Me, I could go, Bluebird, 22 Red Cobra. Okay, sit, hoot, and I can just hand it off to him, and then the rest is in his hands. So, he's one of those guys that doesn't, it would be great to have a good offensive line and all these other things, but, Brees Hall just can get the ball in his hand so much easier. Gary, you have to throw it out there to him, and that isn't always easy. And look at that. I was just going to say, look at FL Phil 98, baby. Just became a Boy Green Coffee Club carrying member, baby. Let's turn up. We got it. We have our sounder right here. We go. Sure, that came through clear. So let me do that one more time. That's right, baby. Of course, all of you, as I'm promoting the Jets-Patriots thing for today's show, a last push, the way you guys can contribute and join the show is by joining the Boy Green Coffee Club membership. For just $2.99 a month, you can help support the show. You'll have this special logo that you see right here by FL Phil 98's name. That's a way that you can be recognized, and I love seeing the green. It's a green color for Boy Green, and I love seeing green in the chat, because when you guys are talking, you guys are members of the Coffee Club, it just shows up as green. So congratulations to FL Phil 98 for joining the party. And speaking of green, This is a guy that found the show on the Green Spotify app, this podcast. Again, I've been doing this show, and I'd love to have you on, Phil, and everybody that chooses to become a member or is gifted a membership. Hopefully, if you're gifted a membership, you check out what it's all about, and you stay long-term after getting 1 month free for those people that are gifted memberships. Hopefully, you guys decide to stay well beyond that, but I appreciate you, FL Phil 98, for officially becoming a member here on the channel. So cool. It's great to see all you guys on here, and we're building a really cool community. I just was really thinking about it the other day. I just said, wow, like a year and a half ago, almost, yeah, somewhere in the year and a half ago range, I pitched this show to my bosses at Heavy and said, hey, I want to do a regular show, because before, to be honest, I was just kind of doing random stuff. I did some post-game shows. I did random videos like, hey, it's Boy Green. Here's my take on this random Jets topic. And then that was it. And then random lives for events. But there was just not a consistent show. And I said, you know what? I want to be on all the time. And I'm wearing the Victory Monday shirt. I just want to talk Jets. And I want a hub and a place, a day, a time where people could tune in. And I'm like, you know what? Why not every friggin' day? I said, I love talking about the Jets. I could talk about the Jets every day. And we've put that to the challenge by literally doing the show every single day live at 7:30. So cool. Again, you guys can, of course, buy your own membership, which is there's a join button on your screen, or hit the money sign to join the Boy Green Coffee Club. Or, of course, you can gift memberships out, which we had earlier this week, which is super cool. And we've had a lot of people do that with Bobby's and Uncle Tio's and so many, giving memberships to other people to give them a taste. Let me go through some of your guys' comments here. NC. BG, your show in the morning is just special. Keeps me away from the pathetic news. And that's what, to be honest, when things had been happening with COVID and all kinds of things over the last couple of years, what I hope this show could do is the same thing I feel for my radio show, which I do after this show, is that it can be an escape for people to goof around and have fun. I know I'm a goofy guy, and I know I'm not for everybody, clearly. And I have weird vernacular and my Jets talk and all this. And there's plenty of people that hate me and don't like me. And that is what it is. You can't please everybody. I know there's plenty of people like that. But I love that the show can be an escape for people. And you can kind of just embrace the goofy. It just is what it is. So thank you, NC, for the kind words, man. I love doing the show. It's an absolute pleasure. It's so cool. Paul, you aren't goofy. Come on. You are a goofy guy. Like Azebo, you're right. I'm a goofy goober. There's just no other way to put it. And I embrace that. Oh, yeah, there's Dakota US. Who hates Paul? How much time do you have? There's a list of people that hate my guts, and I get tweets every day about it. But that's okay. Hey, freedom of speech, baby. Everyone has the right to hate me, love me, or anything indifferent. I'm not complaining about it. It is what it is. When you put yourself out there to do shows, you're putting yourself out in the public spotlight, and some people are going to like that. Some people aren't. I mean, it is what it is. So I just enjoy doing the show, though. So it's really special. It's really cool to do it. And it's so much fun. Like I said, I just can't wait to meet all of you. This is going to be nuts. Like, for instance, Johnny Boys and Uncle Tio's, all these names, like Bobby. Like Bobby, I've seen in our little boxes, right? I'm on this little TV box, boop, boop. Boop, boop, this little camera box. This is what people have seen of me outside of pictures and videos and other social media and stuff. Like, Bobby, I have only seen that bastard on this thing. So to see him in person, it's going to be trippy. There's just no other way to put it. For that Jets-Patriots game, for meeting all the people in the tailgate, when people go, ball, it's Snowball, or it's this guy or this guy, I'm like, holy friggin' crap. I'm not even going to know what to do. I'm going to be like, we have to, what is going on here? See, Jared says Bobby's 6'5". I'm sure. Yeah, that's exactly how I see it in my head. So that's just going to be crazy. And there you go. Ricky New York, apparently. Ricky New York Live experiencing same thing. Paul, I was told last night how much someone dislikes me and how bad all my takes are. But I take no offense. We're all entitled to our own opinions. And yeah, I like people who have called in on this show, Ricky, to be honest with you. There have been people who called in and don't like the things that I've said, and I'm totally cool with it. Sometimes I would take people like, Paul, you are way off base. This is my take. But that's the healthiness of America, baby. This turned into some weird July 4th PSA. But like, Who cares? We can all disagree and have a whole shish kebab about it. I'd prefer that as opposed to everyone just calling in and say, Paul, you're a handsome bastard and everything you say is right. Which, again, are appreciated. Those calls can come in whenever the hell they want to. I appreciate those. But in all seriousness, like, I want disagreement. I want discourse. I want conversations when we're leading into a game and I say, oh, the X factor for the Jets 49ers is this factoid. And someone goes, Paul, definitely not. It's clearly this. Like, all that's fair game to me and pretty cool. So I'm all good with all that jazz. Again, we got 300 people in the room. People, I'm going to keep pushing it, baby. Let me check my phone to see if there's been any PayPal or Venmo notifications. There has not been. Again, my PayPal Venmo information is this: Paul, the letter ESDENJR at gmail.com. And if you need the last four of my phone number, okay, it's 7164. Sometimes if you've never Venmoed someone before, they go an extra level of security. So you need my last four of my mobile number, which again is 7164. And tickets are $140 a pop. They're in the upper end zone. It's New York Jets, New England Patriots. This is the last time I'm going to push the tickets because after today, it's over. You won't hear me. You'll maybe hear me talk about like, oh, that's going to be cool, but no more pushing or promoting from me because it'll be over. I can't do it anymore after today. Today is the final. It's Europe. The final countdown is happening literally live on the show. We got maybe 30 minutes left. 30 minutes. That's all you have. If you want to go to Jets Patriots and sit with me, Nick, and all those other wonderful people I said that are going to the game, your time is 29 minutes as we're counting down to it for Jets Patriots. Please, I want to meet as many of you as possible. And I would love to give away a couple of field access passes to the game, where you guys get to be on the field before Jets Patriots and take in everything, the atmosphere, before we go sit in our seats. We need to sell 2 tickets today in the next 29 minutes, which are $140 a pop, to be able to give out those pregame field access passes. If that does not happen, then we're still going to have an awesome time and enjoy it, but no field access passes to give away to 3 lucky Jet fans that have bought packages through us so far this offseason. And when I say packages, just the ticket package. If you've bought a ticket package, you would be in the running for that giveaway that would be coming in the near future. But again, you got about 20 plus minutes and change here to punch those tickets in. And again, all my PayPal and Venmo information is below, plus more details on the event is also below as well. Again, this is the final push. Let's go back to the phone lines to a card-carrying member of the Boy Green Coffee Club, FL Phil 98. Welcome to the Army, my friend.
Thank you very much, Paul. You know, I've been meaning to do this for a couple of days. Today was the day. I've been wanting to tell you from the start, one of the reasons I got attracted to this show so much was your personality, how patient you are with callers, honestly. You know, I'm a guy who goes back to the 80s with Mike and the Mad Dog. And Mike Francesa could be a real jerk to callers, you know. You're a really good guy. I got to know a handful of the members here. I already feel like part of the family. A couple of them already congratulated me. I appreciate that, guys. Ricky, I love your takes. I told you that before. And I don't know if you saw in the comments there, Paul, I put in, he's got like a Dark Knight, like AKA Batman vibe to him, right? You know?
That's true. There is a little bit of that going on. I see that totally. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I just wanted to jump on and say I'm really happy to be a part of this, guys.
Well, thank you, Phil. I appreciate it. Thanks, brother. And we'll have you on again soon, I'm sure. I love it when you call in, pal. And thank you for supporting.
Absolutely. Have a great day.
All right, you too, pal. And I would just say this. I'm glad that Phil brought that up because I've been in radio for the last 10 years. More than that, but 10 years professionally here at my radio station. And I've seen exactly what Phil is saying with I've been on shows where I'm behind the scenes. I'm not the guy. There. I'm just pressing the buttons and taking calls behind the scenes, and I'll bring the caller up, and then a caller has an opinion that is different than the host. And I've seen the host like either drop the call and lower him so he can't talk anymore on air, but he's still there, and he just starts berating him and belittling him and saying, "What an idiot you are! Oh, you're a dumbass! You're a this, that, or the other." That's not my style. again, we could get into some kind of personal tiff, I guess, if the juices start flowing and personal insults are flying all over the place. I normally don't like to dance in those waters, but I'm all for a hearty discussion, which we've had on the show before. It doesn't happen very often from a caller of like who's pushing something and say, Paul, that is just the dumbest, silliest thing I've ever heard. Like, I am nowhere near you. I'm a pretty understanding guy. You really have to press buttons for me to fly off the deep end, to be honest with you. It takes a lot for someone to push me to that level. I'm normally pretty laid back and I could take whatever's going on. So, but I appreciate that. That means the world. And yeah, again, let's be honest here, if we can. Like, what I try to do for this show is twofold. One, I try to give this show the same energy every single day, whether it's one person watching or 1,000 people watching. And right now we have 350 people apparently in the room live at this moment in time, but there's people that'll be watching this after the fact and listening after the fact. I try to give you guys the same energy if it's this or the other. You guys can go back and see some of the shows. Now, it sounds maybe a little different. I haven't heard one of them in a long time. I started this particular show, this Boy Green Daily / Jet Zone, that's been going on for like 15 years. But like me going on YouTube, I started doing a pre and post game show for the 2020 Jet season, which, folks, if you remember, was the 2-14 year. And my studio was on my couch as I was trying to figure things out and things of that nature. And back in those days, 2 people watched, and one was my mother. So, and I tried to give the same chutzpah, whether it was that or the other, to be honest with you. So I appreciate that. It means the world. I try to give you guys the same flavor, whether it's 1 people or 1,000 people, because you never know when it's someone's first time taking in the show. So you should be consistent. You should give them whatever you have. And yeah, I do not drink coffee, which is ironic to Boy Green Coffee Club in the morning show that I've never had a sip of coffee in my life. Iced, hot, anything of that, latte. I don't even know the cappuccino. I don't know what any of these things are. I'm going to be honest. I'm just saying words. But no, I've never had any of that in my life. But I'm just an energetic guy, I guess. I don't know really what ticks. I drink Mountain Dew, but not in the morning normally. I mean, I guess I'm not against it, but why not try it? Sibo asks. So maybe I will at some random point. But like, first, I'm not and I know immediately what people are going to say. First off, the base coffee is just hot coffee, and I'm not a hot drink guy. I don't drink hot drinks. I don't drink hot chocolate at Christmas time. I don't drink hot cocoa. I'm not that kind of guy. And then people go, why not iced coffee? Like, I don't know, man. I just haven't tried it. And also, the thing that doesn't really entice me to try iced coffee is every time I see other people get iced coffee, it's like $1 kajillion, a frappa kappa lapa dupa doo-da. Like, and then they're like, Dunkin' Donuts or wherever your coffee place of choice is, yeah, that'll be $30. Like, Jesus, good Lord. That doesn't make me like, woo, can't wait to jump on that train. And then I get addicted to that and I'm drinking all kinds of coffee. But I should probably try it, I guess. So, but that's neither here nor there, I suppose. Dakota, Jay, the Jets motivator, says, Paul doesn't like coffee, doesn't like soup. Come on, man. Like soup, it's just, what is there to like about soup? Hot or cold? It's just a bowl of liquid and noodles. What's going on there? Like ramen. I love ramen. I love a good ramen. No broth. I don't want any of the liquid. I just want the ramen. Like I'm a ramen guy. But soup is just depressing. I've never liked soup. I'm not a soup guy. Any kind of soup for that matter. I'm just not a soup guy. Soup in the winter. I'm not I got to warm myself up. I like being cold a lot, to be honest with you. But hey, different strokes. Different strokes. That's also true. Darren says Paul doesn't need more energy, which is, I assume, what you would be getting from coffee or God knows what is more energy, which I'd probably explode if I got any more energy, probably. But hey, different strokes. Zeba says probably smart not to pick up an addiction. That's probably true. That's probably good on a universal take, but Phil says I think Paul, you would really love iced coffee. Again, I might just have to try it. Like, I probably won't try hot coffee because, again, I just have no interest. So even if I drink it and it's not bad, I'm not going to want to drink hot things. So even if I liked the normal coffee, which I normally do, like I smell the roast. Like I worked at this like gas station, grocery store thing. I'm not giving them free plugs or anything. I worked at one of those before during COVID. I had to pick up an extra job to make money for the family. And I made coffee all the time. That was one of my things of my job. I had to like put in the filter and then get the special coffees, boop, 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 and make it and pour it for people and all that stuff. People wanted coffee. I did it. So I've like worked around coffee. I've smelled it and I didn't go, ooh, that sounds great. I'm just kind of like, ugh. All right. Well, that is a smell that exists in the universe, and that's kind of it. So, but maybe I would again. Maybe I will try that in the future. You guys might peer pressure me into it, I guess. Let me see. Okay, here, let's go to Jared B. here. He said, I started watching your videos in COVID. I would put them on a playlist and listen while I worked out. All the content creators, I liked your takes the best and your positivity towards the Jets. Yeah, we have a lot of great content creators, to be honest. Like I said, I'm not, and I've said this before, that I have no idea what the content creation is like for like the Seattle Seahawks is some random ass example. I have no idea. Maybe all fan bases have these crazy, 10 to 12 people that cover the team extensively to this level and they're not employed by the team. Maybe, I don't know. But I just know the Jets universe we have here, Jared. And boy, you guys just have so many options. I mean, an unbelievable amount of options to consume content. Again, I don't want to start naming people because I'm going to forget someone inevitably, but from Buffalo Jet fan to Jets Talk 24/7 to Jake Assman to Matt O'Leary to Ryan to Green Bean, I mean, Connor, you got so many. Again, I'm going to miss people, but like the fact that we have this level of consumption that if you're a Jets fan, you're like, I love watching the games. Okay, cool. I love watching anything that has Jets in it. And then, oh, wow, look at all these content creators, which are creating their own content about the Jets, a team I love. I get it. Just an endless supply. Which, hey, I say this often. I'll probably get this on a t-shirt or something. It might sound corny to some people, but this is so people. I get this question a lot. Like, why the hell are you positive? Like the Jets have given you nothing, this, that, or the other. Like you have no reason to be optimistic. And I often say, I just kind of apply my life's motto to this. We can't control the cards we're dealt in life. And that could be a lot of different things. I live in this house. Let's say a car crashed through my living room wall or something. I can't control if that's going to happen or some other crazy circumstance. Or I go to work and my boss is a jerk that day or whatever. I don't know. Anything could happen of any nature that I can't control. You can't control your cards you're dealt. Maybe you're born with one leg. I don't know. Again, this can kind of just be blank canvassed everywhere. You don't control the cards you're dealt in life, but the thing you can control is how you respond to the cards that you're dealt. The dealer deals them out, and I take a peek at the cards. I can't control what those cards are, but what I can control is how we respond and react to it. And I just feel in my bones that if you have a positive disposition in life, that you can make the most out of that card that's sitting in front of you. I think it helps no one when you just whine and complain and you're just like, man, I got dealt this crappy hand and life's always going to suck and this or that. Hey, different strokes, different folks. But for me, I just try to have a positive attitude about it. So I hope apparently some people vibe with it for this show. And for more people that join on later, that's just kind of my vibe. So there you go. But appreciate it, Jared. Yeah, with COVID, again, we're like past it, but like for a year and a half, 2 years, whatever the time frame was, I was driving on the roads to my radio station, which again I'm about to do here in a few minutes, and it was nothing. I was the only car out there because, unless you're like a hospital worker or something, or like a need job, like maybe the gas stations too, because you had to fill up your car, I guess. But like it was very limited the amount of people got out, and the rest, everybody was stuck at home. So I still think back to that, like, wow, that happened. We had a football season, no fans. Like, wow, all that happened. So it's pretty crazy. So long story short, just don't take life for granted. Take every day as it is. K-Brock, the Jets fan. What about chili? But I've never had chili, so no idea. That's something else. I guess I'm, not fully in the mix on a lot of apparently popular foods and drinks, but chili I've never had, so I have no idea. But like a cup of chili, like what do you have? Chips with chili? What do you have with chili? Are you just eating chili, like a spoon and chili to the mouth? Like is there some sort of side dish? I'm unaware. Crackers, maybe? I don't know. Sheba said this country is built on soup. Wow, that's strong. Paul. So when you eat the ramen noodles, you don't have soup at the same time? Absolutely not. No, I have it like you drain that out. So you make the ramen, you boil water, throw the ramen in a pot, and then you get the seasoning on it, and then you strain it out you strain it out before you do the seasoning part, but you strain it out. Like I have zero soup, zero broth, zero nothing. It's just the noodles in the bowl. So yeah, I do not have the soup. Like a great anime, Naruto, right? They have the broth in there, and then you're like slurping it up and soup it. I do not do any of the broth action, just the ramen noodles. That's it. Yeah. Okay. Some people like iced coffee. Okay. Ricky New York Live says, Paul, soup can be watery, but Campbell's chunky, creamy chicken and dumpling soup is awesome. That sounds like too much hoopla, to be honest with you. Central Valley. Good morning from California. We got a way early Boy Green Daily happening over there, CVJ. And I see you on Twitter every once in a while sharing out the show, so I appreciate that. Thank you. Better get some decaf, Paul. Okay. Yeah, like I said, I don't even know what decaf means. Decaffeinated, I guess, but I don't even know what that means in terms of like the coffee. No idea. Zeba says we should make an event out of it. Sure. And then I'm all aboard that train. Sure. Why not? Dakota says chili's a top 3 meal. Oh boy, that seems aggressive. A top 3 meal? There's a lot of food I like. I don't know if chili would go top 3. I haven't had it, so I guess I can't judge it or rate it on a group ranking or anything. But yeah. David Aaron here on YouTube. Hey, you boy Green. Saw that you put the Hop on Pop record prediction. Didn't have the time to go through the whole show yet. However, 13, 4, 11, 6 are reasonable, not out of the realm of possibility guesses. Yeah, the show's a long thing, so if you ever guys get the chance to go through it, we go through it in, we have little quips for every one. And we'll put out a graphic and get other people's responses. And I went through it, and let me see. Do I have it here? Oh, yeah, I have mine here. Or I have my father's here in front of me. I don't know. Oh, yeah, and I got mine. Okay. Let me go through. All right, so let's see. Where were my losses? All right, week 10. I believe I had that as the Arizona Cardinals loss. If I have that right, was week 10. And then I had the Seattle Rams losses in there. Yeah, that sounds about right. Yep. So I had a couple of those in there. But no, I mean, for the most part, some people go through and do the 17-0 thing. I will tell you that my basis as a fan, David, is what's the best way to put this? As a basis as a fan, I go into every week, again, that optimism thing. Oh, like the Jets can win all 17 of these games individually. Like I accept the fact that, okay, they're probably not going 17-0, but on a week-to-week, like ahead of the 49ers, I think 100% the Jets could beat the 49ers, and that's their toughest game on the schedule. So I think they could beat anyone on the schedule. And then as we go into a week, I will give you guys my X factors, the storylines. We'll bring on people from San Francisco land to come on the show and talk about it. And I will explain why I believe the Jets can win, and here are the factors of why they can. So with that mentality, it could have been very easy for me to go 17-0 on a sheet. But as I'm trying to prognosticate where slip-ups could happen, because most of them are unexpected. I don't think there's a lot of seasons where you play 17, you're like, God, these 3 are tough, and they lose the 3 tough ones, and that's it, and then they're 14-3. I don't think that happens often. I think there's a surprise. Someone's better than you think they are, as we prognosticate here in July. Some people do the schedule prediction in May, and they're like, whoa. Like what you thought of them in May and what is in actuality in October aren't necessarily always aligned. But no, I think 13-4 could be a ceiling. The Jets have never had 13 wins in a regular season in their history. The highest they've ever had is 12, and that was in 1998, and they only did 12-win season once. And then they've had a couple of 11-win seasons, and then we're into normal wins, losses for everybody. A lot of teams have had 10 wins before. So, no, I think it's completely within the realm of possibilities. Obviously, I picked it, but I think it's completely within the realm of possibilities here. And before we go any further, let me give a shout-out to Jared B., who is gifted a membership. Play the chimes, baby. Who is our lucky person? Let me scroll up here and make sure I get him. Shout-out to Jared B., for that very nice on the membership gift. Where are we here? Who was our guy? Let me try to see here. Who did? I normally have my YouTube pulled up so I could see it because it doesn't pop in on StreamYard. Let me see. Where is the new member? Or if one of you guys have seen it already, feel free to let me know who the new member is. Yeah, here it is. So it is K-Brock, who, by the way, who had been asking about it. So K-Brock, congratulations. You are the latest member of the Boy Green Coffee Club. And I know you've been asking about how to do this, and there's been some trouble on your end. But K-Brock, welcome to the club, pal, wherever you are. You are now an official card-carrying member of the Boy Green Coffee Club. Jerby has gifted you a membership, so you get to try out the coffee club for a month, and then you should get an email that's associated there, pal, and it will tell you if you'd like to extend and continue being a member of the Boy Green Coffee Club. So if you were having problems before getting it, K-Brock, you will now have an opportunity to just renew it and do it ever moving forward. But you get a free month here for basically a month till August 8th as we're going through here, and then, like I said, you'll get the opportunity to keep it forever. So keep it moving forward. So one more time, Jerby. Brother, and he's our moderator too in the comments, so we appreciate that for Jared. So shout out to K-Brock for joining the army. 2 members today. Very nice. Very nice. Thank you, Jared, for your lovely gift. Lovely gift to the great people. What a nice guy. There you go. Another member of the Boy Green Coffee Club, baby. You love to see it. Absolutely. Let me see. David, I'm interested to see how y'all dissected Seattle, Indy, and Houston. So I'll give you a couple of things off the top of my head here. So Seattle, it's coming off the bye. Jets are 2-10 in their last 12 games coming off a bye. Terrible. And one of those wins was last season against the Giants, and that wasn't great. So long story short, the easiest way to boil it down is when you have a bye week, you have time. And a week-to-week basis, you don't have time to think. There's just not a lot of time between games for you. Again, they're NFL people. They get paid a lot of money. But when you have a week to just extra prepare and rest, like an extra week, because you have your full week off, and then week. So it's like you have this big gap of time to really get ready for an opponent. And to me, that's worrisome when coaches have too much time. Now, great coaches really take advantage of that. Bad coaches do not. So that was it a little bit on Seattle. The kind of the bye week thing. Again, 2-10 in their last 12 games. Indy, which is right before the bye, at Sunday Night Football, I believe we have week 13 Seattle, week 12 bye, week 11 is Sunday Night Football against the Colts, I do believe. My dad is a lot higher on the Colts than I am, and I think he had the Jets losing to the Colts. But I would say this, as it pertains to Indianapolis. They have a lot of good individual pieces. Michael Pittman Jr. is fantastic. Jonathan Taylor is really good. Their quarterback situation, is Anthony Richardson on the field then? Not knowing that is a big deal. Joe Flacco is the backup, and sure, he got the business end, or the Jets got the business end from him in the Cleveland game, but, like, again, not having a quarterback. Who do we have? Trevor Siemian that game? Like, come on, man. It's hard to properly judge. Like, he was carving up the Jets defense like a Thanksgiving turkey. There's no question. But if the Jets are more in it offensively, how does that change the tenor of that game? So they've got some good things. The offensive line was terrible during Andrew Luck. It got good as soon as Andrew Luck retired, and there was a run where the Colts offensive line was among the best in the league for a multi-year period, and then they had a fall off recently. So I'm kind of curious where they stand in terms of Indianapolis, but I like the Jets in that one, and I predicted that they would win. So my dad's higher on the Colts. He thinks they're this, like, really. He called them maybe one of the most complete or balanced teams in the league. That's a little aggressive for me. But I like it. There's players on that team I like. Zaire Franklin, former Syracuse guy. There's a lot of things I like about Indianapolis, but I had the Jets winning. And then Houston, that's short week. That's Halloween. That's a Thursday night football game, the second Thursday night football game of the year for the Jets. The Jets gave the Texans the absolute business last year because of the defense. And the big factoid heading into that game last year was this. Well, DeMeco Ryans, 49ers guy. He knows the scheme the Jets are going to throw at him, which is from Saleh, of course, Ulbrich, and all that. So C.J. Stroud, in theory, should be more prepared for this defense than ever because he sees it every day in practice, and DeMeco Ryans can tell him all the intricacies of it. Well, that didn't really help him much. The Jets blew him out like 30-0. I think they got one cheap touchdown at the end, so 30-6. But they blew the barn doors off him. So if they were able to do that with Zach Wilson at quarterback, he had a half of terrible football, then a half of, hey, not bad football. Imagine Aaron Rodgers. So I'm looking forward to that game. Sure, they got Stephon Diggs now. They got Joe Mixon. They got a lot of talent. The Texans team is talented. But they're the Jets of last offseason. The hype, the Super Bowl, all that. Everyone's hyped up on the Texans. Oh, watch out. They're the number one threat to the Chiefs. Okay. They have Danielle Hunter now. He's a really phenomenal pass rusher. They got Will Anderson. He's pretty good. So they got some players. They got some pieces. But the Jets are at home. I love these home primetime games, which is Indianapolis and Houston. It's a home primetime game for the New York Jets. Those are big, especially on a short week. So I give the edge to the Jets on that one too, and I had the Jets beating Houston. I think that'll be a fun game. Good game to go to if you guys are going to a game later this season. That's a fun one. But those are my particular ones of interest. In Arizona, it's just a sneaky one. It's on the road. Kyler Murray's better than you think. Marvin Maserati Mav with Marvin Harrison in there. Greg Dortch, man, he's a Jet legend we forget about. He's over there. So that's a sneaky one. Again, you can say that the Jets are better than a lot of these teams on the schedule outside of like 49ers. And even then, you could argue they are. But you go through the list, and they're going to slip up somewhere. Where do they slip up? That's like the fun part of it. Raw oysters. I'm not a seafood guy. My parents made me fish sticks when I was a kid, and that was one of the most disgusting things I ever ate. Blech. Absolutely nauseating. So, yeah, that kind of ruined seafood for me. So, no thank you. All right, let's do two things here. Let me give my two centers for my dream team, and it's absolutely easy. It's Kevin Mawae and Nick Mangold. Kevin Mawae is a Pro Football Hall of Famer. Nick Mangold is a member of the Ring of Honor, and maybe one day, in the right circumstance, could be a Pro Football Hall of Famer. So I need nothing to look up at all. No conversation whatsoever. The Jets are very lucky. They had 18 consecutive years of Kevin Mawae and Nick Mangold, torch being passed back-to-back, and that's the best center play in the NFL over a 2-decade span. Jet fans are very lucky to have had that here in the tail end of the 20th century and 21st century of having those 18 years back-to-back. Spectacular. The easiest one you could do for me, Jared. Don't have to think twice. So as we're putting this all-time list together that you're keeping behind the scenes, Jared, and I really appreciate you doing all this, being the moderator on this chat and being such a fan of the show and being involved in our fantasy leagues and everything of that nature. Yeah, let's keep that one going. But that one, boop, boop, easy peasy. Don't got to look up crap for that. That is spectacular. Love it. And, yeah, I do love saying that on the radio. Like, I do it for Syracuse all the time. Syracuse football, although they're supposed to be a lot better this year. But like when they play a really good team, like a top 25 team coming in, but the top 25 team is like a top 25 team after Syracuse, I go, it's a trap. The Star Wars thing, it's a trap game. And I try to convince like all the experts we have on the show. It's really fun though. That's a fun thing. But yeah, I do have the Jets at 13-4 in my win-loss prediction. And I had them winning the AFCs. My dad had them at 11-6 in the wild card. It didn't sound like he had them winning the division realistically, but still, 11 wins could win it. I don't know. We'll see if these guys beat up on each other a little bit. But yeah, this is a Super Bowl team, and some people don't want to hear that because the Jets haven't been in the playoffs in 13 years. But those two things aren't mutually exclusive. The Buccaneers hadn't been in the playoffs forever, and all of a sudden, booyah, they jump in and win the Super Bowl. Turnarounds can happen, and those things can happen. And the 11-13 win range is a good place to go. Again, if they have 9 wins or fewer, that's going to be disappointing for me. I want a double-digit win season, at least 10 wins, and quite frankly, even 10, I'd be like, man, it's kind of underwhelming. And that just goes to show you where we are. So something to be said for that. All right, we have only a few minutes left here in the show, so we're running out of time. And we'll see if it happens, some miracle, if someone ends up buying these not last two. I keep saying that. It's the 2 tickets to get to our watermark. And I'll do it one more time because we have 361 people in the room live right now. Is me and Nick Shine, proud NYJ fan. He's another Jets content creator out there in the universe. We are hosting a tailgate special and a ticket package for New York Jets, New England Patriots, Thursday, September 19th. Jets Patriots. We're all going to be partying together in the tailgate 4 hours before the game. We'll have a nice little setup thanks to Tailgate Joe for setting all that up. The menu's out and all that. We'll be talking about that in the coming time because the deadline for that isn't until August. So we'll be promoting some of that as well for more tailgate packages. But specifically as it pertains to this ticket package, we're about to be at the close of business. And once that door closes, there is no opening it back up. So if you've been thinking about buying Jets Patriots ticket, we need 2 more to get to the field access giveaway. You and your wife, if you're out there in the universe, or if you're already going, maybe bring another friend. You can do this to get in last second to our Jets Patriots ticket package. And like I said, once the doors close, it's over, and we'll submit our group of tickets and sales we already have. We'll give those to the Jets. They'll distribute all the Jets tickets to all the emails that you guys provided, and then that'll be it. And then we'll be all rocking and ready to go for Jets Patriots. I've never been to a Jets primetime game before, so this is going to be intense, especially all the stuff I saw last year. That week 1 looked magical. And I wasn't going to be able to go this time because it's Thursday and it's a weekday and I got the radio show, and how am I going to balance all this? But I said, you know what? You only live life once. Let's just go out and figure it out. Let's say yes, and we'll figure out all those details when we get closer to the season. So, again, guys, for your last couple of seconds here, you have a chance to do that. And if not, that's all right, because we're just going to enjoy the heck out of New York Jets, New England Patriots. It's going to be an awesome game. And again, the tailgate thing, the deadline isn't until August. We'll give you a date when we're a little bit closer. So if you guys would like to party with us, you already have Jets Patriots tickets somewhere else in the stadium, but you want to party with us beforehand, you guys can still get a tailgate package that is $65 per person. And that's all you can eat, all you can drink, and that is 4 hours before the game. So you have a 4-hour window before the game starts to eat and drink whatever you'd please from Tailgate Joe. Again, the menu is out. I believe it's a taco bar. And I don't know what else is beyond that. I don't have it in front of me right now, but you guys can check all that out. Either way, for all the people that are going or not going, so like Ricky can't go because of where he's located, or Ted, NY Jets FL can't go from where he's located down there in Florida, and all the pieces don't align. Either way, we're going to have a lot of fun getting ready for the season. Again, 2 weeks from tomorrow is report day for New York Jets training camp. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. Appreciate you guys. Make sure you guys like the video, hit subscribe, and thank you to our 2 new members of the Boy Green Coffee Club, $2.99 a month. We got FL Phil 98, who's going 11-6 on his record prediction. Very nice. I love it. And also, again, to K-Brock, who's gifted a membership from Jared. So, again, 2 more plays there real quick. And one more time. Rock on, baby, and welcome to the Boy Green Coffee Club. Thanks for supporting the show, and we'll be back on tomorrow morning. No Connor show tonight, by the way. If you guys enjoy that Monday night Connor show, he had another obligation, and we couldn't come to a time agreement. So no Connor show later tonight, guys. That will not be happening, but it'll be back on tomorrow morning for Boy Green Daily at 7:30. Plus, we'll have our Woody show tomorrow as well. God bless everybody, and we'll see you. Take care.